Have you ever sat down and done nothing? Literally nothing. No phone, no talking, no laptop, no TV. Well, that's what I'm trying today. I'm going to sit for 1 hour doing nothing. And I have ADHD, which means I can never really sit and do nothing. My childhood was from a time when there wasn't constant access to the internet. At some point, there was no internet at all that I could use, and the rest of the time, it was connected to a big computer that we turned on and used only occasionally. And I remember moments of just sitting and doing literally nothing. We were allowed to be bored. Now it never happens. Every moment we have access to something that will keep us entertained or stimulated. We never allow ourselves to be bored. We never just sit with our own thoughts. And I think that's hugely changing how our brains work and not in a positive way. So today I decided to try it. 1 hour, no phone, no music, no tabs open, just me and my thoughts. You might be thinking, isn't this just meditation? I don't know if I would call this meditation because with meditation, even if a thought comes to your head, you observe it and let it go. You focus back on your breath. There is active effort in meditation. But here, by doing nothing, I'm just allowing my brain to do whatever it wants. If it wants to daydream, I let it. If it wants to plan my day, I let it. And if it wants to play a song on repeat in my head, I let that too. Of course, meditation is probably more beneficial, but this is easier for me. Small steps, you know? From the very beginning, I started feeling restless. I kept looking at the timer, like, what am I going to do for this long? I was looking around for something, anything to entertain me. My brain wanted to do something. My hands felt weirdly empty. And the beginning was the worst part. The first 5 minutes were like agony. I didn't know what to do, where to look, how to sit. I kept changing my pose. I couldn't really go into my mind or my thoughts. I kept thinking, oh, I'm moving. I'm not doing my challenge right. That's doing something. Or like if I look in one direction too long, people will think there's a TV back there that I'm watching. It's ridiculous. I kept catching myself thinking random things like what I should eat later, what I forgot to do, what I wanted to Google but couldn't. My brain was basically panicking. After a while, my attention started to shift. I started noticing small things I usually ignore: the dust on the window frame, the sound of a car, or my own breathing. And at some point, I caught myself just staring at my fingers, like really staring. And the longer I looked, the stranger they seemed. They started to feel alien, like they're not mine. But yeah, I'm an alien. Aren't we all? So here's the thing: boredom isn't a bad thing. We have started treating it like it's something to escape. But boredom is actually essential. When we get bored, our brain switches to what's called the default mode network. That's the part of your brain that wakes up when you're not focused on anything external. It's when we start connecting ideas, daydreaming, reflecting, even solving problems subconsciously. And it's where creativity happens. So when we constantly fill every second with stimulation, scrolling, listening, watching, we're basically shutting off one of the most creative and self reflective parts of our mind. We're not giving our brains space to just be. So it was uncomfortable at first, really uncomfortable, but the discomfort faded. 45 minutes passed like this in agony and discomfort, but then the last 15 minutes were very, very interesting. My thoughts slowed down. I noticed patterns in my thinking that I didn't see before. It's like the noise in my head started to clear up a little bit. I even stopped moving so much. I was finally able to go into my mind and I had so many different thoughts. It felt like my brain was putting all the floating, harmless thoughts into where they belong in my head and ordering them. I kept sitting still mostly and I finally started doing actually nothing. I felt calm and peaceful. And then at the end, in the last minute, I got teary eyed. I can't say I cried, but I wasn't even thinking about anything sad. I just got overwhelmed with emotion from the peace and calmness that I felt. It's not a feeling that I often feel, so it was actually very weird, but it felt really good. It was a good emotion. So, yeah, I don't know if I'll do this every day. An hour is a long time, and honestly, most of it was uncomfortable, but I think I'll try to build in more moments like this, even just 5 minutes. And maybe you should try it too. See what happens when you do nothing. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye.